Welcome to the Dream Team Academy podcast, where we help you make your business dreams come true.
It's totally distracting here. So, welcome to Kane Sarota-Novak. Not related to Novak Djokovic, with a similar name, but yeah. Big Australia, I think, Novak.
There was some older generations going, but what about Kim Novak? Is he related to Kim Novak?
Exactly. So, no, you're not. So that's fine. My dear. It is such a pleasure to have you on. And I know that you have such a powerful level of skill in storytelling. I can't wait to hear some nuggets of gold from you later on. But I'd like to start, if I may, with your story. I mean, Kane, you now help people in this incredible area, but you were, in fact, I think originally in the acting space. Tell us how you, what took you on this journey to become a transformational storytelling coach? I mean, it's not an everyday thing.
No, you're right. It's not an everyday thing. And I never expected it. 4 years ago, I didn't know I was going to be doing this. Let's see. So my first stint on stage, I was 5 years old, right? And I loved 5. I remember it like it was yesterday. It filled me with adrenaline. I remember we were running late too. And I remember getting dragged by my mum through the school playgrounds and across the fields, and we were going over to this big tent, right? It was one of those big carnival tents, yeah. And there was a television crew there. They were televising it. It was a huge show, and I had my first stint on a stage, a live stage on live TV, and it was like awesome, right?
Oh my God! Wow.
But I got bullied so much as a kid. Bullied. So, because I was overweight, right? I was a big kid, and I got bullied so much that I became such a recluse that I barely made any friends. I never tried at school. I was shit at my grades were shit. I didn't want to exist, right? I was just like, I'll just swim under the radar, and no one will notice me, because if they don't notice me, they can't pick on me, right? That's kind of how I was. And it wasn't until I was 14 and a couple of girls were graffitiing my bag just before class started at school after lunch. And I was walking back and I could see them on the veranda, and they were huddled over. And I was like, what are they doing, I wonder? It wasn't until I got close to them that I saw they had my bag in their hand. And they graffitied the whole thing with just derogatory terms and stuff. And just at the same time, the rest of the class had turned up, and I was so angry, right? And I snatched the bag out of their hands, and I started screaming at them. And at the same time, I was so welled up with emotion, and tears started coming out. And then I got completely embarrassed, and I felt a lot of shame, and all the kids started laughing at me, and I just felt like a piece of poo. And after that class, I was looking at the notice board, saw the pamphlet for the triathlon, took it off the notice board, put it in my pocket, and rode home. When I got home, I kept reading it. And I walked out into the kitchen where Mum was cooking dinner and said, Mum, I want to do a triathlon. And she kind of spun around. She was like, what? So I want to do a triathlon. She's like, really? You want to do a triathlon? Why? It's like, because I want to do a triathlon. Anyway, I started training the next day, and 3 months later, I came second in the state for my age.
Wow, that's incredible. And so triathlon is, let me just get right, that's run, swim, cycle?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I lost all my weight, got a lot of attention. All of a sudden, I was starting to make friends. Yeah. All of a sudden, I had a little bit of coolness about me.
That, yeah. Who's that kid?
Right.
Let's not steal his bag and graffiti that one. Other thing for him.
And then about 8 months after that, a friend of mine at school said, "Hey, do you want to come and support me at the school theatre restaurant?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay, sure. I'd love to." Went there and she auditioned, and then they were asking me to audition. I was like, "No, I'm not going to audition. Well, no, it's not my thing." And they kept asking me, and I was like, "No." And I started feeling that all that overwhelming bullying kind of thing coming back. And I was just like, I just said yes to shut them up.
I'm getting where we're going here.
They gave me the script, and I read the script, and I got the bloody part.
That's so funny. You got bullied into an acting role. That's hilarious. Okay. So.
And after one of the performances one night, I was at school and I bumped into my art teacher. And she was kind of shocked. She saw me and she kind of stood back and went, "Oh, Kane, I saw you in the production last night." She went, "I think you found your gift." That first moment at school that I got a really heartfelt recognition. And I fell in love. And at that point, I was halfway through grade 11. I was studying to be an architect, to go to university and become an architect. I was doing all the physics and science and maths 1, maths 2, all the advanced stuff. And halfway through, I went, "Fuck this. I'm going to go become an actor."
Yeah, cool.
I've just fallen in love.
Yeah.
So my school yearbook in grade 12 has got a picture of me going, "I want to become a versatile actor."
Oh.
And I spent the last, 30 years in that industry, around the world, making my own films. I've won 2 Best Film Awards for a film that I'd produced, that I was also the actor in, which also got nominated for Best Actor. It's been a beautiful experience, an awesome life. I never hit stardom in that respect, in the 2% of the world of actors that are in that star fame area. I never really got there, but I certainly had a dynamic, eventful experience of a life, and certainly touched many different souls and experienced many different souls, playing many different souls, and also writing and producing my own films, which is an experience in itself as well. And then I got divorced 4 years ago.
Right, that happens. I'm seeing that there's a pivotal, everything was like, and then I got divorced. So like most life, up and down, up.
Yeah,
and down.
Face. Yeah.
Okay. So but in every bad thing there's a silver lining. So I'm waiting for that part.
Well, that's what brought me into coaching.
Yeah.
That grieving process was when I was seeing counselors and psychologists right at the very beginning, and I was asking them, how do you fast track grief? And they were like, "You can't. You just got to take it day by day. Time will heal." And I was like, "Bullshit, I don't believe it. There's got to be a way to be able to navigate yourself through it, through the emotions, through the thought processes. There has to be. I don't believe that you just got to wait for it to happen. Oh, I'm just going to sit here and one day I'm not going to be in grief anymore." Yeah, it's just a magic day. When did that come? It doesn't if you don't actually do the work.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of work into neuroscience, into quantum physics, into epigenetics, and really understanding how the body and the mind and the cellular structure worked, and how it communicates with one another, and everything is clearly directed from the mind. The mind controls everything, yet the soul is the living organism inside you, right? And that soul is what we need to get back connected to allow ourselves to be authentic and vulnerable, to allow ourselves to live our dream. If you want to live your dream life, I live part of my dream life working in the film industry, acting. I didn't always have work. but I was in and out of work, right? Just like most actors.
Yeah, it's the
You're in
most
and out.
active job, yeah.
You get a role, and then and then there's nothing for a few months, and you're waiting for the next production to come into town, and it's crazy in that respect.
You deal with a lot of chaos, you get used to dealing with chaos in that, because you're very uncertain.
Yeah. Yes. And one thing that you really, really get used to, and that really teach, because acting and filmmaking is, you're an entrepreneur, right? You need to sell yourself. And one of the aspects of that is that you're selling a dream. At the end of the day, trying to become an actor, trying to do filmmaking, it's selling a dream. Whatever that dream is, any production is an individual universe upon itself. You know the movie Men in Black?
Yes, the movie. Yep. Very good.
Remember the first one where they're looking for the universe?
Well, we're testing my memory now, but I think so. Yeah, go on.
Remember the cat in there? And the cat they were looking for this thing, right? They were looking for this thing.
And it was...
And they knew that it was on Earth.
Yeah.
And was a universe the size of a pendant.
Yeah.
That there is like any film production. It's a universe unto itself.
Okay. Yes.
The creativity that goes into it, because once it's over, it's complete. And then it just lives.
Yeah. That's pretty deep, that each film is a universe. Okay. Yeah. I get it though. I get it. And it's complete.
Yeah. It's a creation unto itself that is completely original, and it comes from nothing to something, and then lives its own life once it's there. So I've always been involved in the aspect of building dreams, of having nothing and building something and giving something away that exists as its own. And as a coach, as an expert that's going online, wanting to live that desired life, you need to be connected to that dream, that one universe, because it is. The dream is the universe. It's our universe that we want to encapsulate. It's the universe that we want to create. And it's so intricate. It's so vast, and there's so much space. There's so many things we have to cover. Yet the most important aspect into the building of your own universe, the building of your own dream, is happiness.
Yeah.
Because without it, you have negative connotations to things. Things fall apart when there's negativity. Things thrive when there's the essence of joy, and there's the essence of heart, and there's the essence of realism. Stepping into being online, stepping into being a coach, stepping into living that new desire, that new dream, is courageous. It takes a lot of nuclear energy inside yourself to expand. So if you think yourself, I'm going to create my own universe, what focus does that need? What joy do I need to bring to it? It's just like bringing a little human into the world, right? Human, whether it was a bad sexual experience or a good sexual experience, at that moment, there was a moment of joy of some sort.
Yeah.
There was some sort of love, because love is the whole essence.
Yes. Each
So
child,
when we birth,
going back to what you said about everything like a film being a universe, like a child, then you're creating another universe.
yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's the beautiful aspect of the Dream Team Academy, right? You're bringing these beautiful souls into this infrastructure where they get to learn and understand that it's not just a thought that they're going to do something. No, you're in the creation world now. You are going to create whatever it is that you're going to create for the universe that you want to live in. And it all comes down to your own vision of what you think, because no one is ever the same. No film production is ever the same. No theater production is ever the same. It's always different. It is always new, because there's new souls, new people, new thoughts, new creation, new words, new dynamics.
So this, wow. I'm like, okay, I pull myself together here. So this is what you do, you see. Now you see, everyone who's listening to this, or everyone who's watching, this is transformational storytelling at its best, because I mean, he's actually showing you what you do when you're powerful and you stand in your power of who you are, and how you can create a speech and you can reach out to people with power. And you'll notice, I'm just going to point out, I'm going to go behind the curtain for a second, how, you know, if you're listening, you're probably being quite moved by this, and your brain is being wrestled, you're thinking and you're feeling, and that's what Kane does so well. He gets you to think and feel and move, because movement is what we all need to do. We need to move towards our joy and happiness, not move away from it. And that's also what the Dream Team Academy is about. It's about living your dreams, and how do you put in the structures in place to create a business, or it could be a job, you know, but we like to work. I'm biased. We believe self-employment is the way, because you have total freedom of how you do your life that way. So I'm biased. But, you know, how do you create that life that you love? And so you, Kane, you recognize, actually, out of your struggle, you learned something which then took you on a completely new journey. So you got divorced. You'd had all this incredible experience creating universes all over the world in your acting and your filmmaking, but you found something was missing, almost like I need to learn, I need to understand something, I need to find a solution to the problem, which was your grief, and your grief of loss, in your case of your marriage. And it's not just your partner, it's everything that goes with it. It's, you know, the being there with your children every day, which always changes, you know, usually that changes, and it's hard. So out of that, though, you, like the phoenix from the ashes, you have birthed a new universe, using your term, a new way of being, a new way for you to explore your own soul and be your soul's life on this planet, to be able to project yourself like a beacon of light. All of us have light. Do we all shine it? No. So your soul wants to shine that beacon. And so what you're doing, again, it's like a play within a play. You learn to shine your own beacon, and in so doing, actually are teaching people to shine theirs, which is why I love what you do. So tell me, what, so transformational storytelling, when your clients come to you, what does that look like? What do they do?
Great question. Most of the time they cry a lot.
Oh, no. Right, they were going to sign up. Now they're leaving. He's not the one thing is, I know he's not kidding. No, lots of it. Crying is good, guys. Crying is good. It's clearing. When you stop laughing, he'll speak some more.
Okay.
You know, and they laugh. See, they cry and they laugh a lot, and then they laugh so much they can't speak anymore. This is what you get when you go work with Kane. This is a man living in joy, you see. It's a very high emotion laughter. Oh. When you're feeling like you can speak again.
Okay.
You've got your
Okay.
little one in there. You've got your little one in the background going, what is wrong with Daddy? He's having way too much fun.
Okay. So there's the journey is the journey is really fun.
Yeah, we can tell.
So look, right at the beginning, if we're talking about my program as such, so Speakers Inspire Millions, the program as such, we start with mindset and vision.
Yeah.
Cornerstone of anything. The next step after that is building an aligned audience, really understanding who you're resonating with, and the reason why you need to build an aligned audience is because you need people that are actually reflecting the same thing back to you, right? Because we are a reflection of everything that's coming back to us. So we have to be really clear about what's going on the inside. What is it that we're trying to attract? So we can try to magnetize the things that are actually going to happen. So we go into that level. Yes. Oh, that's a bit weird. I wonder why. He said his food tastes a bit spicy on his tongue, and the peanut butter sandwich. I'm like, oh. Yeah.
So for those of you who are listening and not actually watching, so Kane's son has joined us on the screen, and he's with his dad in the Zoom, and he's whispering in his dad's ear. So that's really sweet, actually. It's a family show. We like to enjoy it. We like to include the kids.
So, and then we go into the story extraction method. Now, the story extraction method is trademarked by myself. It is a beautiful. It uses all of my experience in the film and entertainment industry, all of my acting experience, the ability of extracting character stories, and my ability. Everyone has a story. Everyone has their journey, and what the story extraction method does is finds the stories that are the reflection of your own existence. And then once we go through that process, we are able to align the right stories with the right ideal client. So you're telling the stories that are connecting with the people that need to hear it for your business.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because if you're telling the wrong stories, the people that are meant to be working with you won't emotionally connect to you because it's the wrong story.
Okay, so that's like gone straight over my head. So and so I'm probably not the only one. So let me get this straight. You said something really interesting about because we attract people generally. We walk around like magnets, unconscious magnets, right? So what you're trying to do is teach people to understand their story, so that changes their magnetic ability, and therefore they increase their power to attract the people they want to work with and the people who actually need them the most. Is that what you just said?
Yes.
I'm understanding. Yeah,
that's exactly spot on. Well done.
Okay. And that's unique. So this story extraction method is something that you've constructed from bringing all of your acting and also the elements of your struggle because you start to go like, why am I feeling this way, and how do I change that? And this is actually something the Dream Team Academy is going to bring in more, because again, my own struggles have caused me to understand that no matter how brilliant you are at marketing, no matter how brilliant you are at speaking, no matter how brilliant you are, whatever, if there's some kind of emotional block in the way, it's like a filter that you could be singing your heart out, but there's a screen in front of your face and no one can see you. And there actually has to be some kind of inner healing to connect with your soul. So I love what you do. This is why we have you as one of our helpers in the Dream Team Academy, because this is so important. It is actually, even if you're not self-employed, it's important for your relationships. It's important for your life. It's important for any career you have. It's important for the relationship you have with your children. Because if you're saying one thing, but you're kind of not, because there's this curtain from your past, from some childhood wound, some experience, something you've made up about life, you cannot be authentically your soul. and your soul wants to be seen. It came here for a purpose. It has special magic, and the magic cannot happen unless you move the curtains. Like you have to open the curtains for the stage. Otherwise, no one can see the actors on the stage. So, okay, I've done my soliloquy now. Back to you.
And then once we go through that,
yeah,
we then look at the story content. What stories are actually, we do some story evolving. So we evolve those stories and get them into content that people can use to, again, connect emotionally with their ideal clients. And then we go through a presentation of their expertise, whatever their expertise is. We create a presentation together, intertwining the key stories and elements through that presentation about what it is that they are an expert in, at the same time emotionally connecting to their audience, so they're drawn into the action of saying yes to that person when eventually they give them the offer, because they're emotionally connected to this person who they feel like they trust.
Yes, emotionally connected and trusting. Yeah, I get it. And almost as if by magic, because there's this recognition of like the purpose, the need, it all matches, it goes, it tailors. It's a beautiful thing to be able to do, because you're and that's actually what you've just described is correct. I would call organic sales, because everything is sales. Sales is serving. So what you're doing in teaching people to use their story to attract their ideal client, then you're just creating a vibrational match. I'm going to go, it's going to the woo-woo, vibrational match. But we don't have to mention that word. We can just say it's a match. But it is, that's how it should be. You build relationship, people trust you, they see the match, they want to move forward. Yes. Okay, cool. And then, so do you mostly work with and coaches or entrepreneurs, or who's your ideal client?
So coaches and experts,
okay.
Consultants, they're my three, and speakers as well. So in there, and at the end of the day, speakers are still trying to sell a product or an idea, right? And selling an idea is like selling a product. You're trying to convince the world that this new thought process, this new theory is the be-all and end-all of everything, and everything you learned before doesn't exist. Pluto isn't a planet. Right?
Yes, I know. But it's harder now because people go, heard that before, because now we have communication coming from every single angle. Me. I'm the best. You're like, ah! Which actually makes what you do and speaking from your soul more powerful, because we're sophisticated human beings now. We have so much communication. It isn't enough to say, this is the best orange juice, come and buy the orange juice. That's not good enough anymore. So it has to be on a vibrational level. It has to be on a true match of spirits. And so you actually have a choice. If you want to be successful in business now, everyone on some level needs to understand and do what you're doing. Even as an entrepreneur, if you're selling within business to business, you need to be able to make this connection with people. You will be that is why some people, everything they do goes to gold, because they actually do it. They do it without even realizing they're doing it. So wow. So okay, you can tell I'm plugging Kane. So if any of you are listening, but genuinely, I think Kane's program is beyond incredible. I've personally met people who've worked with him, and there isn't anyone who's worked with Kane who hasn't come out like the other side, a different person. Like the lid is lifted off their limitations. They can suddenly escape. Escape what they believe was their small universe. Now they have a bigger universe. I love that universe. I'm going to use that now. Stealing that, okay? Stealing that. Okay, so obviously your program is incredible, but let's just go back a little bit, if I may, to the speaker today. So what we like to do, everyone who listens, I always promise that they'll take away a tidbit from everyone we interview. So I ask for, if you can think of a couple of things that you can give as tips, as something that people can use today that they can go away and practice and apply, which will help them create a little bit of the story extraction method. I don't know which tidbits you can give us, because I know it's a huge thing. It's a 3 month process. But what are little things that they can do which will begin their journey or help anyone today with their storytelling or their speaking?
The greatest thing that you could implement, and this would take a moment of peace and a moment of solitude for yourself. But if you really, really, really want to enable your ability to tell stories, stories only come from truth. And they only come from talking about a moment. So there is two differences in people and how they tell a story. There's the overview, which is outside of the scene. So they're just talking about what went on. This went on, and that went on, and that went on, and that went on, and this happened over there, and that happened over there. And then there's the telling a story in the moment, in the scene, being in the scene as you were, talking about the emotion. So this is the biggest difference. Take this away with you today. People can only understand, there's only a small group of people that can understand a circumstance. Like, as an example, if I was watching a war movie of someone that was in war, I can't understand the circumstance of being in a war. I don't get it. I can't even imagine putting myself in it because I don't get the circumstance. But what I get is if he just lost his best mate. What I get is that his partner went off with someone else because he was gone for 2 years. Where people resonate the most is in the emotion. We're connected by emotion. What we understand is emotion. So when you're telling a story, whether it's on paper or verbally, you need to be in the scene about how it made you feel. What happened? How did that, which area of feeling did you get ignited by? How did it bring you to that point? What caused you to feel that? Because, you know, there's like almost 50% of the world get divorced now, right?
Sad fact. Yeah.
But again, every divorce is different.
Some people are happy to get divorced. They're like, bye, great, I'm out of here. So for some people, it's not suffering, it's the release.
Right. Some have an affair, some have, you know, someone dies or whatever it may be, right? They're all so different. But what we understand is the pain. We understand the grief. That's how we connect. So there might be someone that says, oh, I've been divorced, and it might be they were together for 12 months or something, right? And yeah, I got divorced, and oh. And then you've got someone who's been together with someone for 20 years and got divorced, and it's like, it's different circumstance. But same feeling. So if you're not talking about the emotion of what went on in that moment, it's in the scene, what's happening. I'll give you an example. When when I got home from work, and I was a general manager, I had a big team under me. I was working with a multi-million-dollar aquarium and doing all their corporate and government events inside there that were huge.
Mm-hmm.
I came home this one afternoon and there was such a tension in the air. Such a tension in the air, and I could feel it, right? And I walked into the lounge room and into the kitchen, and my wife at the time was making dinner, and then she plated up the food, and I was like, how are you? And the conversation was very short. And then she went and got the kids' meals, and she put the kids in the lounge room. I was like, oh, that's a bit strange. And then she sat our plates on the table facing each other. And I sat down, and she was looking down at the plate, and her fork, she wasn't really eating the food. She was just kind of moving the food around, and then the fork was scraping the plate. You know that blackboard sound?
Yes.
It was sending chills down my spine. And all I could think of was that, something not right. What's going on? And she came out and said, I've had enough. You're too weak for me. I need a stronger man. And I thought to myself, wow, that was really fucking heavy. That's being in the scene. That's
Because
being
I
in that.
did.
Yeah.
And I could feel it. So what was it interesting? So you were painting a picture I could imagine. And obviously all of us, some people see, some people feel, some people hear more, like it, we have different preferences. I could see it, but I was feeling the emotions that you were saying. I was feeling your anxiousness, like that's unusual. And I was relating it. Isn't it interesting how the mind works? I was instantly relating it to similar situations myself. It's like, oh yeah, that was like when my boyfriend broke up with me. Oh yeah, that was like when my son had done something naughty and he was hiding it, these things. Yeah. So that's very, very, very powerful. And that's actually where your background in acting brings so much to this, because I mean, the moment like when you talk about outside the scene, inside the scene, that's something that people don't normally think about, because it you don't think of scenes, right? It's not how we think about life, but it's such an easy way for storytelling, because you've got the set, almost the scene, the set, and then what was going outside. It's absolutely brilliant. So that's partly brilliant. Okay, one more little tidbit. That was amazing. I'm being really greedy. Come on, one more little thing, because it's so good. One more, and then I'll let you go.
Okay. One more tidbit. Okay. Do you want a tidbit that will stir the very fabric of your soul, or do you want a tidbit that will just tickle your pod?
Let's go for the fabric of the soul. Let's dig deep here.
All right.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's go viral. Soul disruption happening here at the Dream Team Academy. Come and get your soul disrupted.
This is how you create dreams.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
Okay, so there is 5 steps.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to create an impact in someone else's life by speaking or sharing your story that is going to connect to them emotionally, then you have to be aware of these 5 steps. And if you're not allowing yourself to connect and grow and allow your soul to expand.
Got it.
The 5 steps are utilized in every facet of our existence constantly. And if we don't keep discovering the blocks inside us, this is the first step, if we don't acknowledge them, then we're pretending they're not there.
That's step one.
For us to speak from the very essence of who we are, from the soul, to be captivating, to be emotionally powerful in a state of leadership, we also need to accept every ounce of who we are. No matter if we stutter, no matter if we hiccup, no matter if we're big, small, tall, green, purple, doesn't matter. Just accept you as being the perfect image of who you wish to be. The next step is forgiveness. To truly create an impact and inspire other people, you need to forgive every fabric of your soul of anything that you have thought negatively about your own self and about what other people have actually done to you. Because they're all living their own river of life. And whoever did something to you in the past isn't thinking about you, they're thinking about them. So would allow yourself to be truly free in your ability to speak and inspire, then forgive yourself, forgive the fuck-ups, allow yourself to be graceful in the acceptance and acknowledgement that you're just a human being, living an experience. The fourth stone to this is allow yourself to heal. Just let it be. If something hurt you a little while ago, if something hurt you when you were a kid, let it out. Have a cry. Have a chat with someone. Go and see an energy healer. Go and speak to a coach. Get someone to allow you to release it, because that's the last step. Out of the 5 steps, release. You can't miss a step. If you miss a step, you're still attached. And when you're still attached, you're still having the vibration of something in the past that isn't relevant to something that is happening now. So when you speak, you need to be as present as possible. Because magic only ever happens in the present.
Wow.
Was that a soul tickler?
That was amazing. And it's so true. But I urge everyone who heard that to go back, to hit pause, to go replay, write it down if you didn't write it, and write it down again, and then listen to it and listen to it and listen to it. Repetition is the way to learn anything and get it into your cellular body. So that was gold. That was absolutely gold. And it is the reason that some people get what they want and some people don't. Those key steps, like you said, some people, it's just, that's it. If you're stuck, those are the steps. And so this is the interesting thing about actually really true business development, that, begin with, you learn how to do, staple and type on the typewriter. Well, and you used to nowadays. Now you use your smartphone and you use AI, but those are just skills. The person that is programming it, because even with AI, and I have to bring AI in because it's such the topic at the moment. At the end of the day, the AI will only do what you ask it. And the question is going to be the most important aspect. What will you ask the AI to do? It is like money can be used for good or bad. AI can be used to create beauty and incredible solutions, and it can be destructive. So it always will require you and your soul to guide it in the direction. We can create amazing things, but you have to be clear on what you want, and you have to remove the curtains. And that 5-step was absolutely perfect. So thank you, Kane. Wow. Oh, thank you. Genuinely, thank you. On that note, I really can't ask you anything else. I think we've all got to go away and sit on our 5 steps and what we need to do to love and accept ourselves and forgive, and and release. So I love that. What I would love for you to do is give me all your information, so that anyone who's listening can reach out to you, because I would be not at all surprised if people are like, oh, I need to do this story thing he's doing. This transformational storytelling. I need it now. And I strongly advise anyone who is interested in this area to go and work with Kane. However, you can get a little bit of him. I have to get my own plug in here. Kane does work in the Dream Team Academy, and you can get a little bit of Kane. If you want a lot of Kane, you've got to work with him. If you have a little bit more of the tasters he's given you today, if you come and work in the Dream Team Academy, you will get some access to Kane. That's why we're so cool, because we only work with the best. Can you tell? Can you tell? So it has been such a pleasure to work with you today and listen to you and be inspired by you, Kane, as always, and laugh, because you live on a vibration of life. It's joyous, and even when the shit is happening, I know you always keep a smile on your face, and because you're like, hey, whatever, let's move on. I love it, and I am inspired by you for that. So thank you so much. He's laughing again. I can't get the word back. He's laughing again.
Lisa, you are such a beautiful soul. I love being a friend of yours and being associated to everything that you're doing. You have such an incredible story. I've heard a lot of your story, and it is powerful, it is empowering, it is inspiring, it is dynamic, and it's just such a blessing to be part of this journey with you. So thank you so much for being a part of my life. Thank you for allowing others to enjoy both of our lives. So I really appreciate it.
Thank you. And on that note, I shall bid you a good night, because you're down under.
Yes. Do you want me to tell you where I am? Like all my details? No.
Yeah. Oh, you can say that one here, but they're going to be in the show notes. But you can say it. You can physically say it.
Well, should we say it?
Yeah. Do you have a website? I mean, how do people, you can put it on here, but there will be in the show notes. But yeah, but say
it. Everything got compromised, and I lost everything only a few weeks ago, and I've had to rebuild everything from scratch. So Facebook is Kane Sarota-Novak. If you just Google Kane Sarota-Novak, I'm the only one in the world. Yeah. There's no one else like me.
You're the only one. It is a pretty unusual name. I like it.
If you seriously can't find me, you're typing the name wrong.
You are the only one. That is very, very, very interesting. Yes, and what I do need to actually, just on the point, guys, just I have to say this. I say this all the time. If you are a Facebook person, I got hacked once. Kane got hacked. Please make sure that you have your codes. There are actually identity codes in Facebook. Then if you get hacked, and if they take over your 2FA, you can get it back. So I said it here. So anyone might just save someone's life on Facebook with that little bit of knowledge. Go in and get the codes now. If you haven't done it, if you haven't screenshot and put them in a safe place, go right now to Facebook, go into account, security, privacy, go into the 2FA, go down there and it says other ways, put every kind of reveal code thing you can get, then you might get your account back. So yeah, I just have to mention that to everyone. Yeah, bless you. Kane has had some struggles with that. So Kane Sarota-Novak on Facebook, and basically if you Google that, we get you all over the place, I think.
Yeah, you will.
And that you will be in the show notes with your links, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, and also in the iTunes show notes, wherever you're listening to this or watching this. And you can reach out and he'll give you his email as well, probably. So we'll have all of that and a little bit more about him. So and also you can reach out to me, Dream Team Academy. I will always put you in contact with Kane as well. So you can't possibly lose him now.
Thanks, Lisa.
You're very, very welcome. Go and have an absolutely amazing day. All right.
Take care.
Take care. Bye now.
Thank you for listening to the Dream Team Academy podcast. Tune in for our next podcast soon, where you too can find out how you can make your business dreams come true.